and Derek Northington were our van drivers. And it took about an hour and a half before Bible school and about an hour and a half after Bible school to go get all these children. So we appreciate that too. And if everybody that was a part of Bible school, doesn't matter if you brought snacks or were a teacher or helper, if you'll just stand at this time. All the helpers, anybody associated with Bible school, stand up. Thank you.
All right. Now to the fun stuff. I think the kids have been waiting on this all week. Our Ramblers have been practicing in our tune-up shop all week. Wanda wore her little coveralls, and we had the little tire equipment and everything. It was a tune-up shop. But instead of changing tires and all that stuff, they tuned up their voices. So they picked out a couple of songs that they want to perform for you tonight. And they're going to perform Ramblin' Road Trip and We Believe. And Wanda's done a great job with them all week with the music. And I'm going to let her come up now. And they are going to perform these for you. And Wanda, I don't know if we need to move some stuff around or how you're going to do this. Just let us know. We'll help you. We got a bunch here.
Well, I'd like to say that we've had a good time, and I enjoyed these children this week. And these are smart kids, you know. These motions that we learned, they learned them in one night, and I worked 2 weeks, and I still don't know them good. So you ought to be proud of your kids because they're real smart. So do I have any volunteers that want to come up and help me? Okay, come on. The first song that we're going to sing was our theme song, and we sang these each night before we got ready to start.
Road Ramblers. Road Ramblers. Gonna jump in the RV, get myself ready for a little trip around this great country. There are places and things that I wanna go see. Riding down the highway, looking for the right way, trying to decide the best choices to make, so that I can find the route that the Lord wants me to take. On the rambling road trip, which way do I go? On the rambling road trip, it's a big open road. Lord, I know you'll guide me, you'll stay right beside me, and you'll show me how to make it on this rambling road trip. pedal to the metal. Let's get on the Ramblin' road trip. Which way do I go? On the Ramblin' road trip, it's a big open road. Lord, I know you'll guide me. You'll stay right beside me, and you'll show me how to make it on this Ramblin' road trip. Show me how to make it on this Ramblin' road trip. Road Ramblers on this Ramblin' road trip. Road Ramblers on this Ramblin' road trip.
Everybody's deserting me and leaving me with the last one. The next song is really what we tried to teach this week. It's entitled We Believe. And this song tells us that Jesus is real. We believe in the truth he reveals. He saves us from sin, and he's coming again. Anybody want to help me on this one?
And then come back up here again.
That concludes our program for tonight. Let's give all our Ramblers another big hand, okay? Don't forget, we're going to have a pizza party immediately after this. It's going to be over at the Life Center over here. But first, we're going to do the balloon release. So if all the Ramblers, if you'll just go over and stand in front of the center, we will go in and get the balloons and bring them out to you. We're going to release the balloons, and then we're going to go in and eat pizza. How is that? Also this week, remember you came up front and I took your pictures this week. On the tables at the back where you did your arts and crafts, I have laid those pictures out for you. You can just go to those tables, find your picture, and just take it home with you, okay? It's over on the tables in the Life Center where you did your arts and crafts. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Brother Danny right now.
Thank you, Sister Dana. I appreciate that. Young people, I want you to help me tonight to give a good... Okay, those who won't bring your money tonight. They have filled up 2 jars this week. We're going to give it to the Lamar County Food Pantry. Okay. It's filling that quick, it sure is.
Good job. Y'all did a real good job. Now we've got 2 memory verses that we did. The first one we're going to do is the one we did for our thankfulness. Is everybody ready? Give thanks in everything, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Good job. Okay, the second one is for when Jesus was resurrected. He is not here, for he has been resurrected. Matthew 28:6. Good job, good job. Okay, I'm going to give you your certificates and then you can go and take them and sit down. Shay Price.
Michaela Prothero, Mackenzie Northington, Taylor McLemore, Michaela Lyons, Montana Hollis, Mary Gilmore, Lee Corbel, Brittany Carter, Brandon Carter, Riley Cagle, Allie Bennett, Dalton Burnett, Devin Burnett, Hagan Scott, and Megan Hathcock. Okay.
Next is the middle group, and it consists of the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and Miss Frances Stanford has that class.
I want to say I enjoyed this age group. First night we had, I think it was 16 or 17 or 18. I think, oh my goodness, I'll never handle this many kids. But they were well mannered. I never did have to get on but 1 or 2 of them, and they was very good. And BJ, altogether I had a total of 22. They were just coming in and out, but I think 16 was the most I had in one class. Okay, can y'all tell me what our motto was? Okay. Okay, could y'all tell me what our ABCs were? Okay. Okay, in traveling to these different parts of the United States, what road number did we take? 254. Okay, I believe y'all listened a little bit. Okay, now I'll give y'all the certificates. Zoe Hathcock. Austin Scott. Nick Fowler. Harley Bennett. Stephen White. Clay Price. Christina Long. Nicholas Case. And Christina Ott.
Okay, the next group was our youth group, and Miss Joanne Spruill taught that class. She was the tour guide. We had a very good time. We had a total enrollment of 15, and we had an average attended every night of 14. And they were really good. I didn't need any assistance. They done a really good job and behaved most all the time. Our lesson was titled just a little different. It was called Road to Destinations and Decisions. On Monday night, what did we study? The road to worship. Road to worship. And where can we worship? Anywhere. We can worship anywhere. We don't have to be in church. What are some ways that we can worship? What now? Witnessing, prayer, or speech, singing. Okay. All right. On Tuesday night, we took the road to what? Thankfulness. That's right. And that story was about what?
About a guy that got a seashell.
Well, that was part of it. We studied about the 10 lepers, and how many came back to thank Jesus? One man out of 10 came back to thank Jesus. And we talked about the different blessings that we should be thankful for. What are some of those? Family, food, shelter, money, sleep, clothes.
What is the very most important one we might have left out, but we have salvation, Jesus, salvation through Jesus. Okay, on Wednesday night we studied the road to what? Salvation. We studied about the crucifixion and the burial and the resurrection of Jesus. In the Garden of Gethsemane, what did Jesus ask some of the disciples to do?
Sit or pray.
Stay awake and pray. What did they do? They fell asleep, didn't they? Okay, on Thursday night we studied the road to belief, and we took a road trip and went to the Johnson Hole little Sipsey Beach, and so we had a good time there. And we studied the road to belief, and that was about, what was that about? Who was the main character in that story? Thomas. And what was his nickname? Doubting Thomas. And what was that? What did he doubt?
About Jesus.
Jesus was resurrected. What did he say he would have to do before he would believe?
Put his finger through the wound.
He'd have to put his hands in his side. He'd have to see him, and the wounds in his hands and feet, didn't he? So you can see they paid attention and they learned a lot, I think. I know I did. Brian Scott. Brian Chanel. Tyler Roberts. Chris Chanel. Kelsey Hathcock. Mercedes Hathcock. Brittany Maskey. Kevin McCall. Jessica Mitch. Caitlin Murphy. Brandy, she didn't come up from the audience, I'll give her. Randy Randolph. Ashley Roberts. Shawana, not with us. Andrew was just with us tonight, so we didn't have a certificate fixed for him, but I appreciate everybody being in my class, and I think they learned a lot, and they were well behaved, and your parents would have been proud of you. Thank y'all.
Well, we did something a little different this year that we haven't done in the past. We added a class to our Vacation Bible School. We added an adult class, and Tommy Sproul was the tour guide on the adult class. I'm going to let him come up and share a little bit about what they did this week.
Well, I guess you never get too old for Bible school. I think I've been coming a while, but you know, the Bible never gets old, so it's always something to learn from it, and we always need to give our time to it. And I did enjoy my class. I enjoyed what I taught, and I enjoyed the ones that was in it. We really learned a lot, and I just thankful for them and their willingness to come as we studied the Word together. We looked in the book of Ecclesiastes as we studied the book, and certainly we know that the writer of the book was Solomon. Solomon wrote this book, we know, possibly at the end of his life. And it says that, we know he wrote 3 books, but Ecclesiastes, the meaning of the word Ecclesiastes means gatherings. And certainly when Solomon came to this time within his life, he was looking back on a lot of his life, on what had happened and the way things had went during his life. And certainly, as you look within it, and as we looked at it through the nights, and the first nights we looked in chapter 1, there's one thing you notice that he does. He starts out by talking and saying that everything's vanity of vanities, and that word vanity means uselessness. And what he was looking at, he was just looking at the things in which we possess within this world, and knowing that no matter how or what we possess of things within this world, there's nothing within things of this world that's going to give us the happiness in which we need. Because Solomon lets us know within this book that what he's looking at life and the way he's looking at life is life under the sun. And looking at life under the sun is a picture of leaving God out of life. And Solomon says there's nothing in life without God. And if you're trying to add things to it, it's not going to be there. And then Tuesday night, as we looked in chapter 3. And one thing Solomon brings out to us in that book, and it's just simply this, again, life under the sun, life without God, we can expect unrighteousness to be where righteousness should be. We can expect iniquity to be where true judgment ought to be under the sun without God in this world. And Solomon brought that out to us. And then Wednesday nights, as we looked in chapter 11, one thing Solomon lets us know: enjoy your youth. God makes all seasons of life, and Solomon says, while you're young, enjoy it. But there's one thing he lets us know: even though that we're young, let us remember that we're going to come into a judgment with God, and that's before us all. Enjoy it, but remember, judgment with God is for sure. And then when we looked in chapter 12, one thing we really learned in chapter 12, and I got a lot of smiles within this book. Solomon started showing us how it was decaying, started showing us how our own bodies was, I guess you'd say, coming to its end. And one thing he shared with us, even about our own body, no matter how much or how good of shape we think we are physically, that's vanity too, because this body in which we have, one day is going to turn to dust again. And Solomon leaves us in verse 13 of that book. He says, now let us hear the whole conclusion. You know, Solomon wants us to hear the conclusion in our life before we come to the conclusion in our life. And that is to fear God and to keep His commandments. Because he says this is the whole duty of man. This is your responsibility. Hear it before you come to it. And certainly that's the truth for all of us. And again, I'm thankful for my class. I'm thankful for each and every one that came and made it up. And at this time, I thought maybe we could get them to sing a song, but I've done been told we ain't doing no singing or anything. So I'm gonna pretty well listen to them. So I'm going to ask Tyler if he would, and I'm going to come at this time, and I'm going to call out their names and ask them to stand as we hand out their certificates. Miss A.D. Gilmore, I don't believe she's here this evening. Miss Pauline Markham. Back her to back. Brother Tim Markham. Brandy Mills. B.J. Mills. Mrs. Frankie Mixon. Jonathan Mixon. Bruce Sproul. Eldred Sproul. And Brother Danny Stanford. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. We also have some certificates for our nursery, and we've got some special certificates that we're going to hand out, and the presenter that's going to come do that is also our assistant director of VBS this year, or AKA travel agent, and I have a little certificate for her for all the hard work and dedication that she's put into this. She's put a lot of hours into this Ramblin' Road trip, and I appreciate her very much, and that's Miss Amy Sproul.
We had several future Rambler road trippers this week. If they'll come up when I call their name, Briar Dove. Kylie Mills. Jacob Scott. Landon Scott. He's not here tonight. Lawson. Kyler Whitaker. Not here. All right, and then we had lots of people that, well, were our teachers and snack helpers and van drivers and craft people, and I'm going to call their names at this time if they'll come up. Chastity Northington and Alicia Dove were pre-K teachers. Tammy Scott and April Cagle were kindergarten and first grade teachers.